Hi everyone, welcome to my other channel, The Journey of Love. We are going to go and do a reading to look at the energy of the Divine Feminine and the energy of the Divine Masculine at this time. We are going to start, believe it or not, with a little cherub. So I'm going to start with the cherubs, and I'm just going to ask, what is sort of the energy of love around the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine at this time? Divine Feminine and Masculine. Do that first. So the Divine Feminine, what card represents their energy in terms of love, romantic energy, and then the Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine is pulling out, there is nothing to fear, so that's interesting. It's almost giving me this impression here that the Divine Feminine energy is trying to come out more, is trying to step out more, it may be in their feelings and not being afraid of their feelings. It's almost like kind of coming out of the tent cautiously for the Divine Masculine's energy. Call upon the angels. Okay, that's interesting. It could be the Divine Masculine could actually be praying. The Divine Masculine could be looking for some sort of spiritual guidance outside of themselves right now. Going into the Romance Angel Oracle deck. Please show me the Divine Feminine. There's sort of the cycle that they're in romantically speaking. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. This does feel like someone who's trying to step out and be optimistic. Somebody who's moving away from caution. But it also does feel like by being in this moment, it does feel as if the Divine Feminine is not necessarily focused on romantic energy right now. It's focusing on positive and beautiful things around them. The Divine Masculine. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Wow, interesting. Okay, so with that card and call upon the angels, I'm kind of feeling like here that the Divine Masculine is losing some sort of faith in a situation that exists for them romantically. They are very likely leaning into sort of some type of angelic support. They are looking to the heavens to help them in some area here, maybe to help them trust, maybe to help them have faith. Worth waiting for is at the bottom. So you and this person could be waiting for each other. Speak up and tell the truth. Maybe somebody needs to tell the truth as well. I'm going to go into the Energy Oracle deck. I'm going to ask, what motivates the Divine Feminine at this time? What is a motivational force for the Divine Feminine? Their intuition. Their intuition is a motivational force right now. Goddess of the Moon. This is like looking within. They're looking within themselves here to get insight, which is kind of interesting, right? Because the Divine Masculine looks like they're looking kind of beyond themselves for some answers here, for some type of reassurance possibly also. So what motivates the Divine Masculine at this time? What is the motivational force for the Divine Masculine at this time? Courage. Wow. The third chakra. The Divine Masculine is really trying to find courage in this situation. Could honestly really, and well, I don't know. Is it in this situation? Could be in any situation. I can ask that. But based on what we're tapping into and why we're tapping into it, I'm assuming that that's how this question is being answered for us. But yeah, it's sort of looking like the Divine Masculine is asking for strength in a situation, calling upon energies outside of them, looking towards God in whatever, whether this is spiritual, whether this is religious for some as well. They need to have faith. They're trying to find the courage to have faith here. How does the Divine Feminine view the Divine Masculine at this time? Man holding a coin. So they could be viewing the divine masculine as somebody who is focused on finances here. Somebody who's focused on their career. Somebody who's maybe focused on, they're focused on the physical things. They're focused on the physical things here in life. And what is the divine, how does the divine masculine view the divine feminine at this time? Caring connection. They view them as a partner. They view the divine masculine is viewing the divine feminine as a partner, as a friend, as someone that they could build with. It's very interesting. The fifth chakra is at the bottom. I'm going to ask one more question. What is the divine feminine currently working to overcome? What is the divine feminine currently working to overcome? Hostilities. So this could be feelings of hostilities towards another. There could be hostility around the divine feminine. There could be, someone could be hostile, right, towards them. What is it that the divine masculine is working to overcome at this time? Patience, letting go of desperation. So I don't know if it feels like for the divine masculine that some sort of time is running out, or they're worried about time running out. Really interesting underlying energy. There's door to romance, cornucopia, and the temple path. So this is a very deep spiritual connection, obviously, that we're tapping into. We're kind of asking about that. We have 33, 11, and 12 here as well. We're going to go into the tarot and get a little bit more information here. The divine feminine right now is kind of coming out from underneath the tent. There's nothing to fear. I'm hearing there's nothing to fear but fear itself. They're attracting romantic love by enjoying the moment fully. The King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Page of Wands. Oh, that's very interesting. This is giving the impression here that somebody is, I don't know, could be working up the courage to say something. There could be something that has been said here. You know, it's funny though. I feel like this is more the energy of the divine feminine. Like the divine feminine is in some sort of kind of masculine energy right now. It could be needing to do something or say something. There could be a focus on family. I'm not feeling like there's a strong focus towards the divine masculine. Where's this? There is nothing to fear. Yeah, it just kind of feels like there's a focus towards family. The Two of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I feel like the divine feminine to some extent here is not really worried about the future. The divine feminine is not worrying about the future. I feel like the divine feminine knows who her person is, and she's not worried about the future. That's what that looks like. And if they don't know who specifically their person is, it's like they know that there is a person. They're not worrying about the future. Okay, the divine masculine. Third chakra, trying to have trust and faith and calling upon angels. The King of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. This really feels like to me that the divine masculine is trying really hard to hold themselves back, especially with this being something that they're trying to overcome is patience. I don't think they want to be patient. They may not even want the divine feminine to be patient. I would describe the divine feminine as patient, right? Like just kind of being in the moment and not worrying about the future. Tell me about the Trust card. to have faith and trust. Situation is calling for you to have faith and trust. Wow, the Nine of Swords. I do kind of feel like the Divine Masculine is in their head here. They're calling upon the angels. This could be somebody who's like literally praying. The Eight of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Five of Swords. I feel like the Divine Masculine doesn't feel as though that there is a course of action that they are able to take, or that they're able to do anything. They're feeling like something is out of their control. They kind of want to take control themselves. When I say that, like maybe there's something that, there's some sort of movement here that they need to do, or that they would like to do, but it's not in their hands to do it. So I don't know if something is blocking this person, if there's some sort of responsibilities that this person has to deal with, but it's almost like they're asking the angels to be able to clear something for them, to be able to move something for them, while at the same time, you know, maybe even praying or asking for help, strength, and faith. It does feel like a challenge here to somebody's faith. Faith, yeah. All right, the Divine Feminine is motivated by their intuition at this time. So I feel like the Divine Feminine is really trusting their intuition. They're not getting too caught up in what they can't see immediately. Wow, Justice. The Divine Feminine is really not worried about anything at all. Yeah, no, it looks like the Divine Feminine energy knows exactly what is going to be occurring for them. I mean, intuitively speaking, that's their motive here. Now, their motive could be to try to see what justice is for them, like what karmic return is coming to them, but it's not through what they can see. It's through kind of like how they feel, how they perceive. But even as I say that, like they are showing up energetically, they're showing up here as not being worried about anything. They're not worrying about the future. They're really living in the moment. The Divine Masculine here is, how did I get more cards for the Divine Masculine and Feminine? Was it the Trinity? Did I? Oh, sorry. The third chakra was what was motivated them, was the strength. So I already I covered double them there. Okay, so let's go to what they've overcome, or what they're trying to overcome is patience. The Five of Wands, the Tower, and the Three of Swords. Giving me the feeling here that something has gone on between these two energies. There's some sort of conflict. There may have been an argument between the two. There's a desire to break that down, to maybe even show some sort of emotional vulnerability. Kind of feels like a wanting to show emotional vulnerability. It's giving me like a bit of an edgy feeling. It's giving me a bit of an edgy feeling, particularly compared to the Divine Feminine's energy. The Divine Feminine, they're working on overcoming hostilities. So let's see what that's about. Hostilities. Ooh, it all landed on the man holding a coin. Ooh, the Seven of Wands and the Devil. Okay. And it's interesting that it landed on here, how the Divine Feminine views the Divine Masculine right now. So, okay, there really honestly could be. There could be something going on here where the Divine Masculine is focused on finances, is focused on work, and the Divine Feminine is trying to maybe overcome any defensive energy towards this. They may be feeling some sort of toxic energy around the Divine Masculine, or they have been, and they're literally trying to lower their guard. It looks like lower their guard, and I'm feeling like that's very energetic. Like, really honestly, like these cards that have been coming out, there's not a lot of Pentacle cards, which, you know, it doesn't surprise me, because when I'm doing these kind of like these check-ins, I'm sure that there's whoever's going to be coming to the reading, I'm picking up energies for you for the most part. So your situation, if you're curious, is probably because you're not in contact with this person. So these are just, I'm going to say that this is an energetic thing that is going on for the divine feminine here, where they are trying to lower their guard. They're trying to remove some sort of hostility that's been created between themselves and the divine masculine. Some sort of toxic energy that is floating around between them. So, what, okay, but this is nice. I mean, this is nice how the divine masculine views the divine feminine, which is a caring connection. The Five of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Six of Wands. Yeah, see, there is some type of distance here for sure, that there's distance between these two. They see that, they recognize it, but they feel like that this is somebody that is a deeper connection to them than a lot of people, probably most people that they've met. But again, with the Strength card, it's kind of like showing up. Oh, but wait a second, how they view the divine feminine. No, I think they're viewing the divine feminine as being like sort of strong and courageous. That's what they're viewing here. The divine feminine is being kind of strong and courageous and succeeding in that. Self-control, self-will. It's interesting because I wouldn't say that the divine masculine doesn't have that, but their energy, like if they're showing up like that in the physical state, energetically speaking, and maybe even emotionally, they're really not there. Like they're struggling with that. It looks like that anyways to me with the cards. The divine feminine views the divine masculine as man holding a coin. Now that's interesting because it is the King of Pentacles. And what is it that they are not worried about? They're not worried about the King of Pentacles in the future. There's nothing to fear about that in the future. So the man holding a coin. The Seven of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Oh, I feel like the divine feminine understands something about the divine masculine here. There's some sort of clarity that they've received. I don't know what's this clarity about, or if they understand their feelings. What's this clarity? The Three of Wands and the Five of Cups. Wow, that's interesting. There is bringing in some sort of disappointment here. Whose disappointment? Bringing in some sort of disappointment is what's coming in here in the future. Whose disappointment? The Magician, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups. Oh, interesting. Okay, I want to say that it feels like there's some sort of equal disappointment here. There's equal disappointment in this. It's kind of giving me the vibe too, if there's been attempts here to manifest a connection, to manifest a relationship between these two energies. It seems like at times when one of the energies is engaged in something that is moving this fast in this direction, then at the same time the other energy, like the other person, is engaged more like this fast and going in that direction. Like it's almost as if things that haven't been lining up or things that have been out of sync. And there's an equal, I feel like it's an equal disappointment with the Two of Cups here. The Death, wow, the Death card and the Fool. So there is some sort of alchemy that is going on between these two energies as well. Right now, there are things that have been built up in the past that are breaking down. And these are going to be restructured in a way so that there is a very fresh start. There could also be experiences that both sides are having right now that will not be known by the other party. These will not be carried forward. I have no idea what those are, but these things are things that are being broken down. Like they're being broken down. Interesting, they're being broken down by Pluto and Aquarius. right now. Pluto in Aquarius. So there might be something that has happened since Pluto has moved into Aquarius that has to do with transformation and alchemy of this situation between the divine masculine and the divine feminine as well. Where does that end up? Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for a while, no? Oh, the Four of Wands. Oh, how interesting. That ends up in a really good energy. This is positive. I feel like that is a positive outcome. It's going to end up in some sort of union between the two. But Pluto's in Aquarius for a while, so I don't know what that means. The Page of Cups is at the bottom. Maintaining a level of hope here. Maintaining hope. And that's what I have, just as like an energy check-in between these two elements. Thank you so much, everybody. Till next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.